Good morning, guys. Let's see how this thing is going. Let me pump this up so I could. There we go. Now this is good. Guess I'm waiting. It's coming out there shortly. Got it. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's happening. Hopefully, yes, it looks like I'm live. Let me get this. Good morning, family. Or should I say good afternoon at 12:47? I just didn't look at the clock, but I am live this morning because or once again this afternoon because I want to talk about something that's on my mind. And it means the world to me. And I want to talk to my artist friends. I want you guys to share this. I want you guys to, comment. I want you guys, be it now, comment live, or, come later, comment. But today, I really want to talk to all my artist community, the supporters of the artist community, my family and talent. Uh, I want to talk to all of you. Uh, San Francisco Bay Area, definitely want to talk to you. Southern California, my friends in Mexico, my friends across this country. Definitely want to talk to you from New York to California, from California to Mexico to, let's do the whole world, okay? I want to talk to you about supporting independent arts. There is so much talent out there. There are so many agencies out there. And I'm sorry about Pepper doing her barking. She's doing her thing. She's doing what she needs to do. But let's talk about independence. Let's talk about supporting young artists. Let's talk about getting true stories out there. Let's talk about supporting each other and collaborating and sharing information. Each one of us together has an individual talent, a passion. Each one of us together. I learned this weekend. Let me tell you why and how and where and whatever. Most of you know that I retired from being a social worker after 20 years, give or take a few years. And I have been filled with a lot of anxiety, and I had to retire. And I'll tell you what, it was the best thing I possibly could do because I feel free. Not that I hated my clients. I mean, I love the young people I worked with. I loved my colleagues. I just was getting caught up in a burnout situation where I didn't see any resolve. So in retiring, I have had this passion, and I'm talking about passion. I'm talking about I wanted to be in some form an entertainer. But I got stuck on that track that many of us get stuck in. We got to support our life. You got to make a living. You need a roof over your head and you need food in your belly. And my American dream was, hey, I needed to be married. I needed to have a picket fence. I needed to have children. I needed to have the house, the job, all of that. But what about my life? How many of you think that? What about my life? Do we forget about living? This year and a half, 2 years in this pandemic has been a stressor to all of us. A tremendous stressor to all of us. We're pissed off at the world. People are fighting against each other. So I call out on my family of artists. We can change that. You see behind me, I've got Barack up there with the hope sign. Now, I'll tell you what, I don't want to get into politics, religion, blah, 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 blah. But let me tell you, this last year in the pandemic, I have experienced some of the most awesome joys. I've also had some of the worst fears and, things that I didn't know how to handle. But I found things in my life. I threw things in my life that I didn't need, that kept bringing me down. And once again, during this last year, I am beginning to commit myself to the love I have, the passion of the arts. Now, I still got some procrastination. I got things in my head that I have to share with my family out there. But I'll tell you what, my family out there, and that's all of you. That's not just particularly the artists. That's not this. That is everybody, my veteran brothers and sisters. I love you dearly. The veterans, for with all the support services, I love you dearly. But the biggest thing has come together in my life over this last year, and that was my I'm retired. I built a community of VA veterans that I love dearly. My life with my own personal family has grown, and I've also extended it to several other groups. But the one thing that connected all the dots was being able to get back in the arts and commit myself to really learning the arts. So, this is not a this is not this is not an advertisement for any particular thing or whatever. It's not an advertisement. I'm telling you what's happened in my life. The things that are important to me to share with you, because throughout this drama out there in the world, one thing saying that keeps coming back to me is keeping your side of the street clean. And keeping your side of the street clean means doing the work to get there. It means it means are you going to get stuck in the rat race, or are you going to allow that free spirit, that little kid inside of you, to escape and finally play as an adult? Yeah, that's what I found in this year. This year. Let me tell you. So once again, what has been a catalyst that had put everything together was being able to meet a wonderful person by the name of Melissa Thompson Asaya. And she is the director, founder of an acting studio called Empower House Acting Studio. It is a Meisner training school. My artist, you know who Meisner is, Sanford Meisner. She is committed to sharing her passion of teaching committed students to progress in the trade, in the profession, in the arts that they love. I personally have found a freedom in this. Let me tell you, this last weekend was amazing, and many of us haven't met. We've been taking classes a year and a half, a year. A lot of us haven't met. I had the opportunity to meet a couple of my colleagues on a shoot in Redwood City. I've also got to know my colleagues, my peers, my classmates, my additional family, and I feel super blessed because not only do I have my biological family, I have a family that I trust, that I could be vulnerable, that I could be free. And if it's a dude crying, I could cry. I could be Carl. I didn't know who Carl was. There was Carl, the social worker. There was Carl with all his problems. There was a Carl that focused on, I got to get the money to pay this and I can't do this and la 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 la. And you know what happened? All them Carls escaped this cranium. It broke out of this with the supports I've had this year. Melissa, all my family, you don't know how much you have empowered me to break through the barriers that have affected my crazy ass life. My crazy ass life. Instead of me thinking about all the crazy journeys I've been on, all the rotten things I've done, all the stupid things I've done, you know what I've been able to do? I've been able to accept, to grow, not allow any freaking barriers to stop me on that goal, to move forward, to move forward, to reach for the stars, and to surpass the stars because my dream is going to come true. And it's only from us together that helps each one of us break through these barriers. That's what Empower House Acting Studio has done for me. Not only am I learning the profession, learning Sanford Meisner's way, I it's just I can't believe the joy that I'm feeling in my life. I'm not driving down the road, feeling peaceful and everything. Everything's beautiful, the sun's shining, and I'm driving down a country road, right? Check it out, this country road, and it's beautiful for the moment. And what the heck happens? I see a piece of garbage someone throws out of the vehicle. What does our mind? I know where my mind went. My mind went to the garbage, and what the hell did this other person do? Instead of staying in the beauty, not getting distracted from the negative, be aware of it though. Be aware that we're going to have roadblocks. We're going to have stuff that come into our life that's going to try to knock us off our path. That stuff happens. I have learned to feel it. I had a wonderful clinician tell me when I went back to having the opportunity of talking to people in the professional field. This one person told me this. Carl, I want you to look at your emotions like the passing of a cloud. Now picture that. The cloud. Now, I know the San Francisco Bay Area isn't blessed with four seasons or whatever, but we do have fog, we do have clouds, we do have sun. We get the moon shining through a little bit, and we even get those different colored moons, different shapes and all that wonderful stuff. But listen, say you're sitting in a real bad emotional pity pot. I used to try to escape that emotional pity pot and not look for opportunities to feel it. Know that it's not going to stay with me. Know that it's not going to stay with me. Let it go. Keep my mind occupied. Maybe it's picking up a telephone and calling one of your family members that you love and care about. Not throwing something in our bodies that kind of escape. It's like trying to leave, but feel it. I'm not a person who enjoys silence. But you know what? I'm learning to accept silence as part of life. But the beauty has been this, that sometimes the stars align and good things happen. Feel your emotions. It's okay to get mad. It's okay to let it go. But feel it and know that this, I'm going to throw this saying, this will pass too. You know, put it in direct terms. This shit will, it'll leave us. It'll leave us if we allow it to. If we allow those feelings that are beating the shit out of us to cycle through. Think about it. To cycle through, and you know what? Time passes no matter if we're awake, asleep, we're intoxicated, whatever, and time passes. New experiences. How many of you find it difficult? How many of you find it tremendously difficult to let go of the bad shit? The good stuff passes in a moment. We get excited, we do this, move, and then it's gone. But we hold on to that bad shit. Oh my God, we hold on to this bad shit. Don't know how to handle it. Maybe I'll smoke a joint. Maybe I'll drop this pill. Maybe I'll just freaking go to sleep. Hmm? But anyway, I really feel blessed today to have this opportunity to actually go out and say a few words. I put a title out there like my thoughts. Let's come together as artists. And every one of you is an artist. Every one of you has your own personal story. Every one of you has been on an experiential journey that sometimes we don't know how to get out of, but we have. And sometimes we get to a point where it's not so bad after all. Sometimes we get to a point where we can trust somebody. Sometimes we get to a point where we can really feel the ups and downs of life and be able to go through it with the joy of just plain living. I'm grateful for this opportunity because I'm living now. I may not see all of you all of the time, but don't think that you're not in my heart. My heart is exploding right now. I mean, it's just got so much love and joy and passion. I got Pepper, my dog, around here. Once again, I got the veterans. I got another group that I really, really feel committed to. I feel loved. I feel I can say anything I want to say, and there's no barriers that's going to block me because I can just let freaking go. I don't have that pain in my neck, that stress. I don't have that pain in my lower back. I've actually lost a few pounds compared to where I was not too long ago. You know, I could show you pictures, and maybe I'll do that, but I'm just running at the mouth today. I'm just running at the mouth, and I hope, one of my dreams is to put a blog together. You know, and just to have this conversation, to go live, to express my experience and see if you relate. Shit, we all relate in some way or another. You could be in the East Coast, you could be on the northwest corner of the Amazon. You could be in South Africa. You could be in Australia. You could be in Asia. You could be in the Eastern area. We all got feelings. We heard all this hate going around the world. Now, once again, I'm going to go back to Barack. You see those words up there behind my head? Along with my veteran status, because I'm so proud. I am so proud that I can share my experiences to my veteran brothers and sisters and family that don't have to hold back anymore. I don't have to be somebody that I don't have to be. I can be free. Well, that's a life changing experience is when you accept that what happened happened, but it's also created who you are today. To be able to look back at experiences and learn from them. Which leads me, and I'm going to probably close with this, but I definitely want your feedbacks. If you're seeing it live right on, Lonnie, I love you big time. Lonnie, you're amazing. You're beautiful too. So, love yourself. We don't do enough of that. We don't love ourselves enough. We beat ourselves up. We want perfection, and perfection isn't even real. It's not a reality. So, getting back to the arts. Some of you saw what I posted out this morning, but I'll tell you what. This morning I had a wonderful conversation with a colleague of mine. Not a colleague. I mean, I'm going to tell you what it is. I had a conversation with a classmate, a fellow artist who wants to produce, direct. This business is cutthroat. My supportive family in LA, my working actor friends, my working producer friends, all of you, like I said, this is a worldwide experience. I've met some wonderful people in Mexico that worked on a great film that I was on with my brother who just logged on, and I'm so great to see him. My brother, David Fernandez Jr. He's an amazing man. But this business is also, it's a business. It gets cutthroat. People lose friendships. People do that. Why don't we share? Share the love and look at the positive nature. If we got a difference, then let's work out the freaking difference. My friends, my artist buddies, beautiful family out here. How do we collaborate and share information together? Here in the San Francisco Bay, it's like I told you I had a conversation with my classmate. And I'm going to throw a shout out to her. I want to throw a shout out to Kirsten Spalding. You're an amazing person, and we're going to have our scene study tonight. Our activity that's going to be amazing. We're talking freedom. Freedom to be who you are and to show natural. There's a saying that I learned in my class, and it originates once again from Sanford Meisner. Amazing, 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 amazing instructor. Sanford Meisner, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have his words directly in front of me, but I know how passionate my instructor is about staying pure to the teachings of Sanford Meisner. That's the class I'm in. What was said from the doings, and this is to everybody because this is reality based too. From the doings comes the emotions. Okay, like check it out. What I'm doing here today is coming straight from the doings. Being frustrated at how come we don't collaborate? How come how come this? Let me show you a picture on this wall. Let me show you something up here. Let me show you this. You see all this? I'm not talking about the posters. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about this thing here. Okay? Is this what the problem is? That's a rhetorical question for all of you. Is that what the problem is? Is it freaking money? I guess, you know, the folks in the political, if you take my speech political, then I'm sorry because it's really not. I am trying to be genuine. I am trying to be real. And I'm trying to tell, you know, I want to start a podcast and I want to hear the feedback from all of you, okay? I know one of my other classmates who's a fantastic person, and I really want to support her project as well. And that's going to be coming to you very soon. And I'm not giving any information other than I want you to listen to me. I want you to support independent artists. I want you to support, you know, many of you in the family. I'm talking about my worldwide family. Many of you in my family do not understand the amount of work it takes to put something that is true, passionate, genuine, reality based on the screen or on any media form. Because it goes right back to that picture. Let me shake it again because this is a live thing. You see that not all of my bad past stuff, and support those artists too. Okay? I'm going to stand up for this and I'm going to show you. I wish I had a pointer or something, but I'm going to show you this. This is what the world has come to. This spawns hate. Yeah, that spawns hate. That spawns attitude. That spawns people not able to reach for the dreams. But I'm going to tell you, birds of a feather find their way together. But it's going to take us all talking to each other. We may have different points of view. We may be from diverse cultural backgrounds, ethnic background, this and this. But you know what my joy is? Is being diverse. Is being diverse. You know, find the love in your heart to think about those. Let's not get caught up in this consumer era where everything is money. I mean, people's life, or you know, we're not even, you know, as people, we're not even looked at as people. We're looked at some kind of number. So why are we all categorized? You know what I'm talking about? Why? Why if you're white, black, red, green, blue, oh, I'm Jewish, I'm Catholic, I'm Protestant. Why can't we just be people? I'm gay, transsexual, this. Everybody's in a category. Why? That shit's crazy. That's why independent arts has to be supported. That is why we as people need to support each other. And in the artist world, take that freaking pride off the damn table. Collaborate. You know, it was so funny. I mean, you know, and I believe in anonymity, and I'm not pointing any, you know, unless you're in the arts looking for support. I mean, and without your permission, I wouldn't even use your name. So, what I have learned in some of my veteran get-togethers, I should say, is, you know what? We're stronger together than apart. This political world, this hate world, this world, this money world, this number world, that everybody's a number and nobody knows that we live. We got to come together. I want to support David with his wonderful podcast. I want to support, there's two other people, they're not on here now, but they share nothing but love out here and positive, and you got to manifest your dreams. You manifest it, because what you want to do, what you want to achieve, you can achieve. You can achieve. Don't let the oh, here's what one of my veteran really loved. My family there said, there's an expression that normal people are weird. That came out. Are normal people weird? What is normal? Who defines normal? Oh, is that another categorical box? Who's what? I'm called crazy because I'm animated. But I'm Carl. I'm not you, David Fernandez Jr., but you're my brother. Lonnie, you're my sister. I love you dearly. All you people out there in my family, we're all different. But we do share one thing. We are human. We have feelings, emotions, pain, joy. We can choose to support someone, or we could choose to hate. Which is easier? I'm going to tell you experience I had in my own biological little circle. I had made so many mistakes in my life, and like I told you, the emotions and what I did to escape those emotions, and the relationships I've had. There's love in the relationships I have or had, but I never set boundaries for myself. Only boundaries I set in the past was achieving the dreams. All my dreams, hopes, desires, fantasies. I put a boundary on that. How many of us do that? How many of us do that? I'm sitting back here because I know I'm not alone. I know I am not alone. We all set boundaries. Anything that's happy, we expectations. You don't fit into my expectations, so I'm pissed off. I'm not going to be happy that you have a life, that you have a freedom, that you have a choice as well. It's not going to be the same choice I have, because that's what makes us different. Our differences also brings us together, because getting back into your artistic world, our differences come together to collaborate and make beautiful stories come to life. And if anyone ever, if you guys want to talk, if you want to, connect, if you want to collaborate, if you want to support, I'm willing to share my experiences. Are you? Are you going to be cut off in the world, or are you going to be cut off in the world that says, you can't share that, that's too much information. Oh, if I share that, you're going to cut into my piece of the pie. And just putting a political little analogy here, and like I said, this is non-partisan as you possibly can be. I have my particular belief, and I'm not putting that out there, but I want to put something out there. What we're seeing at that House and that Senate is people are putting their personal thoughts before everyone else. Think about it. Why is it such a jam? Why can't we come together and love? Why can't we come together and just fix this craziness out here? And it starts with one person. One person. One person could plant the seed in another person. That person could plant the seed in three. And when those seeds start to, what do you call it? Flower, bloom, blossom. When they blossom, was a team effort. So I guess the big meaning of this whole video today is to say, in that old Beatles jam, I mean, I'm not putting any background music because I don't want to be locked out or anything. I really want this message to go out today. I want to, yeah, and you see all the pictures. That's my military picture in the back, and then those are two of my previous dogs. Those are, they're that are in puppy heaven, Goldie and Sunny, and I miss those two beautiful dogs with. Oh my God, I love them. And that bottom picture is me in Korea, yeah, in the 1970s. It was 77, and at the top over there, you see that crazy bald-headed dude. That was my initial military picture. So I'm getting emotional. I'm kind of slipping off the topic. But the topic, let's support each other. Let's come together to create real, genuine truth. They could be fighting at the Capitol and everybody's got this one side, but I'll tell you what, everybody, the reason, my own personal thought, is that everybody's in some kind of category. They're trapped with some kind of other thing in it. You know what? Let me go back to this picture because I'm gonna go back to this one again. Oh no, not those other ones. Okay, I'm gonna go right back to this. What do you think? What do you think? To me, the root of evil is greed and not being able to share pieces of the pies and who's going to be on top of the pie, who's going to rule this, who's. It's not about that. We could still have order. We can still have disagreements. We still can love each other, you know? So if you guys want to comment, I'm going to throw my email out there. I haven't created a page or anything, but this is some of the things I want you to think about, okay? And if you have comments on it, please, send them to kjarena52 at gmail.com. Once again, my email is kjarana, the number 52 at gmail.com. I do want to create a channel. I mean, I did this in class as kind of like a fantasy thing. It's about really doing a podcast, and I've had some comments from some wonderful people and said, what's stopping you? What's ironic is what's stopping me is me. What's stopping me is the barrier that I put on myself. Instead of breaking barriers and busting through this, I want to commend my brother again, David Fernandez Jr., because I'll tell you what, he expressed something to me that has also resonated truly deeply. And he says to me, and this is real cool, and I hope to actually bring David onto a podcast to talk about his ventures, his journeys, his experiences, his strengths, his challenges. Because how do we learn to grow if we don't share that information? You've heard the old saying that information is power, yeah. But if we share that information, we create a powerful community. And we don't have all this, we don't need all these barriers. Okay? I want to learn to produce a film. I have a film. I've had the opportunity to actually be behind and actually look at casting people. You want to know what an experience that is to have someone come in audition in front of you? It was just It's a joy. It's opening the doors to things that I never thought were possible for me. You know, for possible for me. And you know what? What's possible for me is to help someone open the doors for them. And once again, what I wanted to show you is my dear friend. And I'm going to promote my dear friend. Her name is Christina Ray Jackson. She opened the door. She opened my eyes too, and she's a classmate of mine as well. And really, I love her energy. This is a young lady who's in a wheelchair. Some of you say, well, how did they do it? What did they do? How did they? It's about not letting any barrier stop you from obtaining your goal. And you know what? She sparked that into me. She said, look at, I've got this and this. I'm retired. I've got a little time. I could do. Wow. It's amazing. So the two things I want to do, I want to ask you that question. I'm going to move this right now because I'm going to show you something crazy that's behind me. So don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Whoops. Okay, that's important to me too, but check out what that says. Someone told me, Miss Christina Jackson, someone told me that I should actually do a show called The Really Real Shit Show. Now I got to put show up there. And do exactly what I'm doing right now. Is keeping it real. Is talking to you about life, my challenges, my experiences, and also bringing in other artists, other people to promote positive thought, to promote progressing to a point where you're not going to let a barrier stop you from obtaining your goal. We all should be able to obtain the goals that we want. You're not going to get it that simple, though. We can want, but if you don't put into action and you don't put into just doing, you're never going to accomplish. Okay, I want to also, like I said, I want to promote Christina Jackson, who is a co-host for a show on YouTube called Brave Maker. And I met Christina through class. She brought me, we started talking. She introduced me to Brave Maker. And they're out there making dreams come true. They're out there supporting independent artists as an agency. How many of you know about agencies like this? I'm going to tell you another people. I'm going to start promoting. There's another person that I love talking to. It's a young man who has a show in the East Coast called The Next Motivator. I'm going to promote Cedric Riley. Amazing show. I want to bring people together. David Fernandez and his podcast would Earn Your Life. My sister up in the east, northwest country. My sister Maria Faye Pikar, who directs, who has her program called Asian Mainstream Productions. I'm telling you, together we can accomplish what no one individual can accomplish. Together, we can share the knowledge to succeed. Okay? We're just not a dollar sign. We, however, are people that need people. People that need support. People who want to tell stories of their journeys in life. We, as a nation, as a world, as a human being, need to channel love. need to channel information that can promote the stories we don't even know, don't even understand. But by sharing those stories, by helping people to make their dreams come true, to share their stories in a world that we don't know, to educate us, family, that's how we make it through troubled times. That's how we learn to love each other. And even if we don't love each other, learn to respect, learn to create together. We don't have to agree on every situation, but I'll tell you what, we do need to agree to come together and to manifest those dreams into a universe that we see as positive energy. Don't get stuck on a negative platter. I hope that makes sense. Don't get stuck in negativity. I go to sleep every night and I'm grateful for the day I had. What experiences did I have? What challenges did I have? When was I an asshole? Be grateful you're alive to be able to inventory that. Wake up each morning. It's a new day. New experiences, new challenges. It's a new day. Family, life can be shitty, but life can be good too. There's a song I think I don't know if it was Gil Scott Heron or one of those folks, but I forgot. You know, my memory. You know, sometimes I have CRS and can't remember stuff. You know, but the song that has stuck with me too is "Without joy, there's no pain." Without your experiences in life that are your experiences and your challenges and your journey to share with someone else, how do we learn? I grew up when this internet stuff wasn't, so popular. It's kind of fun that I could chat and talk and go crazy for I don't know how long of a period of time, but I'm doing it, man. David sent me a comment. He says, being gentle with ourself is self love. Don't beat yourself up. Understand that, you know, here's what I put out there. If you're sitting there and you're beating yourself up right now over some mistake or something you did, you can't change that. It happened. What you can change is how you react to it, how you think about it. This new path that I've been on this last year and a half, I've learned that there's something I learned out of every experience, be it good, be it bad. Sometimes the good wasn't as good as I wanted, but you know what? Maybe that's what I needed. It may be totally different than what I wanted, but I'll tell you what, when it came through, something else came through, and it was a beautiful thing. Accept whatever you experienced in life in the past. Accept it. The past is the past. Accept it. Work through the issues that hurt you so bad. When you accept it, then you have another journey. you start to look at those experiences different because those experiences made you who you are today. And you are a good person. I'm going to paraphrase another one of the things I learned in my class is, you know what? You, you, each one of you, you're good enough. Be you. Be you. Follow your dreams and achieve them. Put in the work. Be committed. And from that work and that commitment, and the work you put in, the fruits of your labor will materialize. Here's a thing, a buddy of mine, and I'm going to mention his name as well. I'm a big Don Graves fan. I learned a lot from my brother Don Graves. And what he did say is, he said, Carl, sometimes when you work with people, and this goes to a lot of people who do public service, your experiences, even raising your children, you plant a seed. You start where they are and you plant a seed. You don't have expectations on how that seed grows, but one day, that seed will blossom, and when it blossoms, it's no telling. But we impact each other in so many different ways, and some of those ways we don't even know. Now, let me get back to this weekend. I told you guys I had this 24-hour film festival, and I did it with some of my classmates, and I've been online for a year and a half, like many of you. We've been dealing with people online. Let's talk about that. I know people in several different capacities. It's like I've never met them in person. And it's so funny this weekend at that thing. I got an opportunity to go to San Francisco and meet several of my classmates because we were creating this film together. And I hope one day I could share that little short we did. But the beauty of the experience was the fact that we built trust online. We built some kind of personal thought of who the other person was by the way they projected themselves online. We built trust. And we feel free. We're breaking barriers together, right? But let me tell you, and this is something that's going to relate to all of you, right? Because COVID is not going to beat humanity. Humanity will beat COVID. Humanity needs to come together. And here goes my thought. Like I said, I appreciate all the comments. If you see it live, right on. If you see it, on a repeat, I really want this stuff to go out there, and I want to get your feedback. And I did put my email in there. I know there's going to be haters, but I learned something too, is that, you know what? Haters are just going to be haters. But haters, to me, what haters do to me, haters will be motivators. They motivate me to complete my dream. You can hate it, but you know what? That finger is coming back. Like I said, we got to be responsible for our side of the street. And for all you haters, go for your dreams. Your dream isn't my dream. I don't know your dream. But you know what? Instead of being a hater, why don't you be a doer? Be motivated. Be motivated by your own complaining. Be motivated by your own hating. We can learn something from each one of us, even you haters. I'm going to learn something from you. I want people to share this. I want people to share it. But anyway, getting back to that experience of meeting in person, using using technology to even communicate with the partners, team members that weren't able to make it in person. It was such a tremendously beautiful experience you wouldn't believe. The little thought process, the little idea of what I thought this person was going to be based on what I saw of that person in the last year and a half. It is so different. So it is so freaking different. Uh, what it did was it opened the door even more to trust, being able to be vulnerable, being able to commit to, you're in my family now. I'm in your family now. We can do this together. And oh my God, that is just like an experience. Now, I'm getting ready to finish off this session of my acting training, right? But what I've learned is it's motivated me to go to the next session. And if everything works the way it should work, I'll tell you what, folks, we're all going to be seeing each other face to face again. And what have we learned from this challenge that we faced the last year and a half, 2 years? How can we make the world just that much better? Haters, you don't have to hate. Motivate. Embrace diversity. Embrace it. You know, someone told me once, uh, it takes less energy to make a smile than it is to frown. Think about it. Anyway, on that note, I really am going to log off. Number one, like I said, here's the questions I want to ask you guys. Number one, what do you think about a podcast and what kind of information would you like me to do? What do you think about the real shitty, really real shits with a Z show? Tell me what you think about that because I'm going to entrust in you. I'm going to share my experiences of life. Uh, I am hoping that my experiences help someone come alive, someone embrace who they are. Maybe by me telling the story and surviving some of the things I've survived in my life, maybe just a little tiny bit, maybe I can help you crash through those barriers that keep affecting your life and holding you back from the dreams and the dreams and joys you want to accomplish. This whole talk is about inclusion. This whole talk is not putting a barrier on someone else because that someone else could be the person that helps you get to the next level of your own personal dream and fantasy. We can't do it alone. All you hardcore dude macho people, all you folks that grew up in the era that I grew up in, and those who have experienced the same damn thing and not having to be from the same era as me, listen, barriers have been part of our life. Let's forget the barriers. No, let's not forget the barriers. Let's break through the barriers together. Unity, not division. And on that note, I'm going to give you my email again, and I'm really opening the doors to a floodgate. I know. But hey, listen. If you truly believe, and don't think I can't see through BS, if you truly believe in the You want to come together to collaborate? Let's make dreams come true. Let's tell stories of diversity. Let's tell stories that include and not divide. Let's learn to break those barriers so we can be one people. And before I leave this earth, oh my God, what a joy that would be. But until then, I'm going to live every day, every night, every second of my life in the present. Not get stuck in the past because I've accepted the past. Live in the moment. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We really don't. So, future, yeah, there's a whole lot of red tape out there, and I know people are anxious. I got to do. Well, when do you have an opportunity to breathe? When do you get a chance to smell the roses? Huh? Are you stuck in a world that you think was the world you wanted to, and you've just gave up on all your dreams and all your freedoms and all of this? I say to you, hey, join me. I say to you, join me. Share stories. Bring diversity to the forefront. Bring adversity to the forefront. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about some of the shitty things out there so we can move forward to make those shitty things unshitty. Or maybe even look at a different way of looking at the shitty things. That what did we learn from that? What did we learn? On that note, my name is Carl Arana. And this is the question. Do I keep this show called The Really Real Shit Show? This is a show that is going to help me grow. It's going to help me share your stories. It's going to help me be creative so your stories, our message of challenges, diversity, the journey, how can we break the barriers that have been so bad to us, that have kept us locked in? Let's bust out of the box and say, you know what? I'm good enough just the way I am. And on that note, I love you. Biggie hugs. Biggie freaking hugs. I love you. On that note, Carl Arana.